He comes from a lineage of great sages, yogis, and saints from India. He began his spiritual journey at the age of 7 and was fully realized by the age of 14. During this time, he delved into different practices and acquired mastery over Tantra, Mantra, Yantra, Aghori practices, and Yaksha sadhana. He was a siddha, and many masters, saints, and sages used to visit him in solitude to gain wisdom and guidance from him since the tender age. Although he has been helping humanity since childhood, he never disclosed this part of him to the world, and only the advanced yogis and masters were aware of his divine presence. Only in the last 2 years he chose few people from the world and started guiding them in their spiritual paths, and those who have been closely associated with him have witnessed many miracles in his presence. Despite being a family person, he is a yogi and intends to help people entangled in this world achieve Jivan Mukti, liberation while being alive. He is truly in the world but not of the world, and if you really want to understand him, look him beyond his physical appearance and just sit with him, and you will never be the same again. In his presence you will transcend your body and mind and experience the state of Sat, absolute truth, Chit, pure consciousness, Ananda, eternal bliss. Let us fold our hands in front of his divinity and with a heart filled with gratitude and love welcome our spiritual guru, the realized soul, and our enlightened master, Guru Meenakshi Mishra.
ॐ अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तयेन चराचर तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्रीमहादेवाय नमः। तस्मै श्री सदाशिवाय नमः। ॐ पृथ्वी शान्ति अंतरिक्ष शान्ति सर्वं शान्तिः। अहं ब्रह्मास्मि। Good evening, everyone. स्वागत है आप सभी का to the 159th Q&A session. And good morning to the people from the other part of the world. So good to see you all. So being a Q&A session, we need some raised hands and some questions. आप सबको आषाढ़ एकादशी या देवशयन एकादशी की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं, like the beginning of the Chaturmas, and at the same time within the next few days Shravan Mas is also going to begin. So the entire month dedicated to Shiva and the Chaturmas, in which you can absolutely do some amazing things. Especially those are all related to spiritual activities and all those things. So surely we'll be talking a little bit more about that in the upcoming weeks, like how you can utilize these 4 months to the maximum, and let's see what all comes our way. Okay. So questions. If no questions, it would be great to know that, okay, along with the gods, the questions have also slept. And that's a really good way of looking at it. So we have anyways 83 questions left. So the hands have already gone up.
Yes, Chirvilas, can you unmute, please?
Namaskaram, Guruji.
Namaskar, Chidilas.
I guess I asked you this question already, but
Mhm.
maybe I don't remember it probably. So,
Okay.
what does Mahamrityunjaya really do?
Okay.
Because we have very so many hypotheses about it,
Mhm.
thinking it will totally avoid the death. But what I feel is when it has to happen, it will happen.
Right.
The other thing is if it has to make a person live, it has to increase the karma.
Mhm.
Can that happen?
Okay.
So what does it really do?
See, Mahamrityunjaya mantra in this space, especially in this yuga that we are living in, right? So we have already discussed, but let me put it forth in a slightly different way for your understanding. So this particular mantra, as you rightly said, it should make somebody immortal if it is chanted in the right procedure and the right way, the prescribed way. However, if you look at the mantras and the efficiency, not the efficiency, but the effect of the yuga right now, you see all the mantras,
Hmm.
if you look at them, like it has become very common now.
Hmm.
And what becomes common, its effectiveness is also hampered. Now, even if you look at nowadays, everybody has like Om Namah Shivaya has 1 lakh versions of musical ways of singing that. Then Shiva's, all the songs of Shiva, they have 1,000,000 ways of singing that. I don't know that Ravana Stotram, how many times, how many ways, how many musical instruments, and the way they have been singing it, right? One thing is, Sidvilas, understanding the meaning of it. All these mantras, they were all Gupta mantras, including Om Namah Shivaya. It was not a common mantra that was available to everyone. So all this mantra, what happened is it became generalized now.
Hmm.
And people, even without knowing it, it's just like wasting it out. Let me ask you, if a farmer is there and he's given a bag full of seeds, and he just take the seeds and just throws away anywhere he wants, can you tell me that the seeds don't have the potential to grow to a plant?
No.
They have. But where are they dispersed? Where are they thrown? So if a mind or a person who has done the sadhana of the Mrityunjaya mantra and has done the siddhi of that,
Hmm.
if these people chant that mantra for somebody, it will elongate their life, undoubtedly. That is the power of that mantra. Whereas when coming to a very regular process that we do, does it really affect? Yes, it still delays the time of the death by at least few minutes to few hours.
Hmm.
It is still possible. So it's not that the mantra does not have power, but its usage that has gone down. It has become so common right now that हम कभी भी मंत्र उठा के कैसे भी बोल देते हैं. We don't even know what are the vidhi, because every mantra, before you chant the mantra even, वहां पे षडन्यास है, करन्यास है, हृदयन्यास है. देन उसके बाद अगर उत्कीलन है तो उत्कीलन करना है, अगर उसके लिए कोई स्पेसिफिक ऋषि का नाम लेना है, किस छंद में गाया जाता है, किसने रचना की है. So these are all the entirety things of the mantra till the end of it. But how many people are even chanting that? No, the moment I say, okay, chant Mahamrityunjay, what they will do? Om Trayambakam Yajamahe. And where it ends? Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Purvarukam Vandanat Mrityor Mokshe Yamamrita. And that's how the poem moment, like, it has become like a movie song for us. So where is that efficacy? Until and unless we also know when a Pran Pratishtha is done, when a life is being blown into a stone, a rock, an idol that becomes the god after that. What are the preparations? You have seen the preparations that are done before the Pran Pratishtha, right? It's a huge celebration. It's not just a celebration. It's about how the things are lined up in that way so that that mindset, that place, everything comes to a certain level of vibration wherein it's like a fertile land, and that seed of mantra is put and it blooms like a flower. Similarly, Mahamrityunjaya mantra or any other mantra, whenever you are chanting it, if you do it in the right way, you will feel its presence, you will feel its efficacy. There will be frequency changes, there will be vibrational changes. Even if you put a device and look at that, you will see a change in it. Last year, Rajanji did a photography test with one mantra. Okay. So, Karlinian photography, right? In that, you can see the change in the aura and all those things. That can read the level of your aura, right? That is the kind of image that he was taking. What he did is he was chanting Om. Okay, so he chanted Om and he took the photo like what kind of aura is Om creating. Right. At that time, we also gave a single syllable secret mantra of Shiva. Right. So after chanting Om for some time, he took the photo. It had a brilliant light around it. But the very next moment, he chanted only once that one syllable mantra of Shiva and everything changed in the photography. Only once, not even an entire mala I'm talking of. The entire aura of that space completely changed, and he has taken the photographs of that as well. And he shared that in the group as well. And he said, this is what is the power of mantra. So who is chanting, where it is being chanted, from where you have got that mantra. These play a very, very major role. And then we cannot say a mantra is not good enough. A mantra has as effectively, because it is a swarupa of the Devata itself. It's like, you remember what I said, when you chant a particular word, it creates a vibrational frequency. That vibrational frequency is attached to certain things. Let's understand it from a student level. I only say a word water. I only say a word sea. I only say a word monkey. I say a word elephant. Can you see with every word, the word I say mother, the word I say love. Can you see I said certain things that are emotionally attached, some things that you have seen. But the moment I say water, did I have to make you understand what it is? No. By our understanding, through our memory, we have been trained that water looks like this, elephant looks like this, a horse would look like that, a monkey would look like that. When the word pops up, it's not that it is creating it, but it is being created and relayed in your mind. That means a particular word is having a frequency that is hitting and generating an image of that particular thing. For example, Chidvilas. So you have a very unique name in the entire group. Now, anytime I call up Chidvilas, your image will appear in front of the eyes of these people or not? It will. Why? Because that's the frequency vibration of Chidvilas, because that name has a form as well. That form has been attached with a name, and the moment I take the name, the image of that person appears. And at the same time, there is a person with that name. Got it? There might be millions of Chidvilas as well. Yet, when I am talking about the Chidvilas, whom are you referring to? Here, you are referring to one Chidvilas that they know. Are you getting that? So that means, what are the reference points here? When I am chanting a mantra, it has a vibrational frequency. It is attached to a certain deity. Which deity I will be referring to? The deity I know this mantra is all about. And that vibrational frequency, when you take that particular mantra name, what happens? It starts creating that image, Shiva. I just said word. I said Mahadev. I say Kailash. I say Uttarakhand, or I say Ganga, I say Vishnu, Vithala, whichever name I call. What is happening? Immediately your mind is creating that kind of image. Why? It has a reference point. That means that frequency is hitting your brain in such a way that it is changing the image frequently. Yes or no? The moment I say one name, you are able to see that. The next name, you are seeing the other thing. Can you see the power of a mantra? just a power of a word of a human or the God. Your mind is revolutionizing itself and changing its frequency basis. Similarly, when a mantra is chanted, what it would do, even though you don't know how that deity looks like, but that frequency vibration of that mantra has the power to create that deity. Because it is the vibrational frequency which has been, usko na chota kar diya gaya hai. For example, somebody says, okay, I will not call him Chidvilas, I will just call him Chidi. Right? So it has become smaller, but still Chidvilas knows what his name is, and whenever it is called, and rather in the entire crowd, if I call Chidvilas, you might turn around, but the moment I say Chidi, you will turn around immediately because very few people know that name. That is very close to you because you know only the closest people of my place call me with this name and they only can call me with this name. Yes or yes. What is a single syllable mantra? Only the knowing people of his family or the closest people, they know the syllable, the bija mantras. So whenever you're chanting a bija mantra, it has a brilliant effect on you. Immediate impact, because that is a very lessly known factor about. So when we are chanting the Mahamrityunjay mantra, yes, it still has impact, Chidvilas. We have seen enormous things happening because I still remember, might be, again, it goes back to when I was like 12, 13 years old. There were many cases such happened. Some people were far off, so they have to call him. And they said, okay, at least if these persons can live for a few hours. So in those places, specifically when we gave that mantra, it worked actually, Chidvilas, at that time. We saw that actually that person was about to, do you know there are certain signs of death? So that signs were already visible, yet that person stayed back for a few hours. That's the power of it. But the only thing is, are we doing it right? It's just like as simple as that. Let's say somebody is digging a hole in the road without any reason. Just digging. What is he going to get? Nothing, because there is no meaning to that. But we're here in the space, when you are doing a mantra, you have a specific way of taking the sankalpa for that. When you're taking the sankalpa of that and then you are attaching that mantra to that with that person's name and gotra and everything, then it takes it to another dimension where time is not calculated based on the time that you are in. That's how the lifespan changes. Got that? So it's a brilliant way of understanding it. But I believe like you got what I was saying in the easiest way. Right? Okay. So it works. The only thing is you should know how to.
Yes, course. And the other thing is like about 2-3 years ago or something, there was a cat crossing by, and then people, like our close people around me were saying that the tail of cat must not be touching the person.
Okay.
So it seems there is even some other story related to it. So how far is it relevant, and what's really happening if it is happening?
See, when it say like the tail of the cat should not be touching a human, I understand that the tail of the cat is pretty sensitive, and if you touch it, it will turn around and either scratch you or bite you. I believe that. What does a cat has to do with its tail and you have to do with the tail of a cat? Yet, you have to understand one thing, that why all these things have been created in our lives. If I tell you this secret now, you will be astonished rather than being what you call as living in an illusion. You would be getting a lot of clarity, because a lot of people, when I see, they mock at this, but they don't understand what is the exact meaning behind doing that. For example, it is said, if a cat crosses your path, stop for a moment. Yes? Understanding that. Why is it so? These are not simple things to be understood. And if I ask you why it was done, can anybody answer me? But the moment I tell you the secret, you will understand, oh my God, how beautiful it is. It is as simple as this, Chidvilas. Whenever in our culture, all the religious teachings, all the things that are related to the divinity have been told in such a way that even without knowing, you will do it and you reap the benefits out of it. Get that? And now looking at the earlier settings. Nowadays, people keep cat as a something like, some people keep it for their own way of, because they love it. But in the older times, what happened? Almost every house had a cat. Why? Because they didn't have that kind of sophisticated rail rings and all those things. What all we have, like we lock our own self within our own houses. Let alone human, now mosquitoes cannot enter our house. Whom to say I have done the same thing? So we are all caged in our own houses. But earlier, what was the situation? Earlier, it was all open, and majority of the cases, people used to live in the forests, right? So a cat crossing the street was more frequent than it is happening now. But what happened is people only understood only one thing and forgot the reality behind it. What is the reality behind it? It's just like this, lost in transition. Something was told, something is being followed. The only reason why it was said that when a cat crosses your path, you should stop for a moment. You see, that's another way of bringing you back to the moment. Is it not? Because you were in a rush, you were going somewhere, you are not in the moment. How would they bring you back into the moment? They say, okay, if a cat crosses your path, stop. And when you stop, what do you think of? Tell me, what do you think of? Majority of the cases, Chidvilas, they think of God.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Because if this has crossed the path, that means something bad is there. So let me call what happened in that moment? In a moment, they brought you back to the present moment, and at the same time, they allowed you to take the name of the divinity. Now say, is it a foolishness what it was created, or it was the foolishness of the people that they never understood what is the reason behind it? So now when a cat crosses your street or your path, you stop. But what are you doing in that moment? Reconnect back to the divine. So now tell me, is it a bad thing or a good thing?
It's a good
Bad thing for those people, those who never know it. What they will do, you see, your mind, if it churns around things in a certain way, it will start seeing the same things. Even if you just, a cat has crossed over and you just, while getting down, a small rock hit your leg, you say, अरे बिल्ली रास्ता कट करती थी इसीलिए मेरे पैर में लग गया. Now, those are the people, those who never understood the reason behind it. But for me, even if a cat crosses, what do? You do, whether you slow down or not, but slow down within yourself is what I say. For a moment, in that moment, connect to your divine. And now that cat that was considered as a bad luck becomes your good luck charm, because it connects you back to the divine. While crossing over, think of your God. What's the problem? He's there to take care of it. So now you thank the cat for bringing you back to the connectivity of your own home. So is it not good? So everything in this world, Chidvilas, especially whatever has been told in this culture, it has a scientific reasoning behind it, or rather than a spiritual reasoning behind it. Right? So when these things are brought into light, see like how amazing it would become. What is the question, Sumaji? Just a second, Chidvilas. Like she has a related question, something. Then for crows also the same thing. They were my grandfather and all used to see if they are starting in a particular direction. If it crosses, they used to stop. Yes, Sumaji, the beautiful thing about that is even science right now says, and I believe like Haribhai shared a video recently of Sri Lanka, right? That lady was talking about the flying birds, the reptiles on the ground. See, whenever there is going to be an earthquake, who is going to feel the vibration the most or the first? The ones, those who are walking, they're crawling on the ground. They will know that, right? So when something is far off, like rain is coming, or if there is something like a thunderstorm is coming, who would know that first? The Bihanga, means the ones, those who are flying. So if at that time there was no weathercast, right? Forecasting of the weather. So when they were going, they would look at the crows because they know whether to go to that direction or not. Based on that, they would come to a conclusion whether the weather is going to good or not, whether they can travel or not. That is another way of understanding how it is. Similarly, you remember, like they used to feed the crows first and then eat the food. What was the reason? Because in earlier days, they used to cook the food very early. There was no light available. So while cooking, if something wrong might have dropped into that. Let's say you're cooking in the darkness and a lizard fell into it. And God unforeseen, it's a poisonous one. Because at that, during those times, there were no electricity, there were no lights, right? So in order to have a luck on that, what they used to do, they used to feed the crows first. Now you should ask, how terrible. In order to safeguard themselves, they were killing the crows initially, so that if anything poisonous is there, they would eat and die. No, you have to understand one more thing, because in our culture, it is understood that crows are immortals. And crows are connected to our ancestors. The ancestors will always be there for your help. That is another indication that your ancestors will always safeguard you. And because of that, you feed them at the first thing. And if anything wrong is there, they will also let you know. How many of you know, like earlier, by looking at the crow, they would say somebody is coming to the house today. कौवा के पुकारने से पता चल जाता था कि आपके घर में कोई आने वाला है. So these are not just fabricated things. These are the ways. They have researched on all the aspects of life, and then they have prescribed all these things. Earlier, the devices were not there to inform, but these were the devices of nature that used to pass on the message of the nature. And the ones, those who understood nature, they were the closest to nature. And look at us now. We are all in boxes, far off from nature. What a sad story to unfold. We say we are advanced, yet disconnected from all our roots, all our knowledge, all our wisdom. Sad story, but yet that's evolution. Right? So that's how, Sumaji, I believe like I answered your question in that space. So Chidvilas, now if the tail of the cat touches you, what would you do? Wow, the divine touched me today. Govinda, Govinda. What is better, living in fear or connecting with the divine? It's absolutely a choice. And if you choose to be in that space, don't you think you live a powerful life rather than a sorrowful and dreadful life?
Yeah.
So convert that. You change your stories, because we are all living out of the stories that run in our minds. So if that is the case, the story is running my life, why can't I have a powerful story to run? Why can't I have something so amazing that every simplest of the things, whatever happens to me in my life, Everything is attached to the divine, and in every form and state, I only see the intervention of the divinity. Make sense?
Yes,
सब बिल्ली रास्ता काटे तो क्या करोगे? You know it. So it will not create a fear within you anymore. It will create the divinity within you. Good, right?
Yes, good.
Amazing. Now keep 4 or 5 cats in front of in your house so that you keep on remembering the divine.
Good.
No, not like that. Okay. So any further questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Very good.
And
Go ahead.
same this kind of thing actually, I have doubt even about the lizards and the snakes.
I know that we're coming later. So what about the lizards and what about the snakes?
They say if we see the snake itself, it's a dosha.
बेचारा सच में. और शिव जी उसको गले में लेके घूम रहे हैं. बताओ कितना दोष लगा होगा शिव को. If you only see at it, you are having so much of sin, then what would have happened to Shiva then? My dear Lord, who will save you? I'll tell you why it is said so. You want to understand why it has been told in the narrated in that way? It's very simple. Understand the culture again. It is said even by looking at it, you gather sin, right? Lost in transition.
Yeah.
One more understanding in this, Chidvilas. In our culture, what it is said, you are the ultimate, you are the Brahman. In everything, the divine resides, right? But when you look at the snake, the moment you see a snake, what happens within you? Fear arrives.
Yeah.
Fear is a sin for one who knows he is beyond all this physicality. Abhaya. Until and unless you are abhaya, you cannot do even your sadhana.
Yeah.
So bhaya is kept in a negative manner here. So they say, if that snake is creating a fear within you, what happened to you? You forgot who you are. And then in that space, you acted as if it is going to bite you. No, it is there. It has not even come near you. And at the same time, look at this, Chidvilas, like we say, जब मृत्यु आने वाली है तभी मृत्यु आएगी, उससे पहले तो नहीं आएगी, लेकिन सांप को देख के हम भाग जाते हैं. There is a particular mantra for that also, Chidvilas, like whenever the snakes come, they take the name of a particular deity. And it has been seen numerous times, even by me also, Chidvilas, like when you chant that name, they literally move away from your path. They won't stay there. They give you, means even though they are on the street, they will move out, give you the way. So Chidvilas, in this culture, everything like, one is they will say that, okay, you should be aware of it, not fearful of it. Being aware and being fearful are two different things in this case. Here we have seen many people playing with the same snakes.
Yeah.
And here we have some people naam se hi bhag jate hain. So there might be many things associated with that, Chidvilas. But in this case, if you have to understand why it is said that is a sin, because you are going into, by just looking at it, you are not remembering Shiva here. You are thinking of fear within you. Why can't you convert that to Shiva here?
Yeah.
So the path from sin to Shiva again changes. Be aware of it.
I actually look at it in a pretty different way that once I heard from Sadhguru that people who have high vibrations, to them the snake comes naturally.
Okay.
So whenever I see snake, I feel like it is feeling some positive presence that way. It's like going around here and there.
Okay.
So I in turn connect back in that way, in a
That's
different way.
good. See, anything that makes you powerful, anything that enriches you is good. Yet I have seen snake charmers. They don't have a great vibrational frequency anyways. Right? This is told in the context of Shiva. Right? He itself, what could be a vibrational frequency of Shiva that the snake resides there? So a resemblance is there. So from there it is said like, okay, anybody with a higher frequency, they will stroll around it. But how many would stroll around the snake? Whatever frequency they are, they will first run away from that place. Their frequency changes by seeing it. Right? But yes, the thing is, if you are having a higher frequency level, by just even imagining that or by seeing it, absolutely fine. But you see, there are certain things that you should be aware of. I know fire is good for cooking, but I wouldn't put my hand into that. Right? So that's how it is. So snakes. What about lizards?
Yeah.
देखो कुछ सुन के ही आंख बंद कर दिए. मतलब बेचारा वो दीवार पे कहीं चढ़ के जा रहा है, आप यहाँ मरे जा रहे हो. I saw today a reel, somebody wearing that transparent gloves, that lady, she is going and catching hold of that lizard, bringing it down, just bringing it out and throwing it out of the house. I said, how many of you will be daring to do that? देखो, और ये कहते हैं कि हम शिव भक्त हैं, हमारा ना मृत्यु से कोई भय नहीं है, छिपकली से भय है. मृत्यु से कोई भय नहीं है, लेकिन छिपकली से. आई डोंट हैव एनी फियर अबाउट डेथ, बट ओनली फियर आई हैव इज लिजर्ड. भगवान, भगवान ने ना तुम लोगों को ना इतना दिन तक इसीलिए रखा है. The God has not given you liberation in your previous life only because of this, I believe. Because he is so benevolent that he sees like you are fearful of lizard, then how would you have gone into the jungles and gotten the sadhana done where tigers are roaming? It is benevolent. At least you people are fearful of lizard. बोले अच्छा चलो अभी कंट्रोल में है. Such amazing people. बेचारा छिपकली, पता नहीं उसका रंग देखो, पूरा कर्पूर गौरम दिखता है वो. So what about lizards? And you know, Chidvilas, there are books actually. When a lizard falls on your head, what will happen? Lizard falls on your right shoulder, what will happen? Lizard falls on your leg, what will happen? If the lizard crawls over you, what will happen? Everything is written there. If you are lying down and lizard falls on your chest, what will happen? Everything is written. Yeah, so if you are interested, I will send you the name of the book.
Now it doesn't make any sense.
Are those true? Yes, you make it. How many of you, like during COVID, you never had so much of cough in your entire life? Nobody had that much of, like that feeling of like, okay, what is happening? Suddenly you put on sprays and start smelling. Oh, the smell is there or not.
Because of fear, even that smell doesn't come.
Got it? Did you understood what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the play of the mind that even makes you feel what you want to experience. Can you see that beauty of that mind? It is a pure, absolute servant of yours. You want to be fearful? बोले क्या हुक्म मेरे आका, चलो आज भूत की कहानी दिखाता हूं. Then suddenly, even if you don't know, like you look at that camera, somebody is moving in the car, and suddenly light flashes. You see, for a moment, you know the name is written as Revati, but in the flash of the lights, light black and white, you say, "Oh my God, what's happening?"
And if the wind again comes, it's like Khatam Kahani.
The oozing sound of the wind, right?
Yeah. And the window.
And the window, especially in winter season. And there used to be somewhere I heard this, Chidvilas, like short horror stories. Would you
This
like to
may
hear
be
that?
Guruji.
See, one fine day I'm sitting at the home, it is raining outside and it's the chilling weather out there. No one is at my home. And suddenly the light goes off. And I was searching for the light, and at that time somebody knocked at my window. And when somebody knocked at my window, I went and opened the window just to realize I live in the 7th floor. So who must be there to knock on the window? Horror story. See, it can be a joke, it can be a horror story, in whichever way you want to take it. But he narrated in such a way, Chidvilas. It created it such beautifully way. At the end, he said, "Ah, but how come somebody can knock my window at the 7th floor?" And then music.
That's like the main part of the story or movie.
Yes, yes. So whether the ghost has appeared on the screen or not, it is already creeping within you. Okay. So any other questions, Chidvilas?
Yes, Guruji. So I just wanted to know about the details of temple. Ki if someone, I guess it depends on the kind of deity how the temple has to be.
Okay.
But like majorly about the Tamil Nadu side temples, there are certain features and all on the pillars and all in the Garbhagriha.
Okay.
So what is the importance and why are they there?
Oh, so I told like there should be a session on that. That is still pending, right? The special creatures inscribed on the
Oh
temple.
yeah.
Oh, we'll do that. We'll do that. It's a beautiful one. Actually, some day ago I thought of, and then some other topic popped in and I missed it. I don't know. There is a entire session on that.
Yes, good.
So you'll be knowing more about it, more fascinated.
Yes, good.
Okay.
So in the scriptures, I heard that when soul leaves the body, it is usually said that it is thirsty. But what I feel is when it doesn't have the body, how is it feeling thirsty?
See, certain words cannot be, doesn't have a meaning, means a exact representation of that is not available. So the closest thing that they can keep is that the Atman is thirsty. Why Usha ji is drinking water, I don't know. So, so without the physical body, you are saying how it can feel thirsty. So the indication here, Chidvilas, was that it still has desire for something. So it is that, no, कहते हैं ना, अब हिंदी में तो बड़ा खतरनाक नाम बन के आता है, प्यासी आत्मा. Very dangerous words. But the meaning here you have to understand is that it has still a strong desire to experience something. It has not quenched its thirst of that experience. Because of that, it is said that iski kuch इच्छाएं बाकी रह गई हैं, and it has to come back again for that. So what would be the closest word they can, ये भी कह सकते हैं आत्मा भूखी चली गई. Could have told that, but the only thing is the closest, because you can stay hungry for quite some time. But if you feel thirsty, it's very difficult for you.
Yeah.
So what could be the closest resemblance to be make you understand what it is this. Adhurya sign means it has not completed its desires yet. It's still that quench of thirst is still left out. Okay, so that's how they resemble that to certain words. Okay.
And it is even said that to quench the thirst, we put tulsi water into the mouth.
See, that is again at a physical level, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What would be the reason for putting the tulsi water and the, like Ganga Jal, tulsi water,
Yeah.
then Nirmalya.
Oh.
So all these things are put into the mouth. The only reason behind that is, again, understand why these things are done. यथा, ये कहते हैं ना कि मृत्यु के समय, at the time of your death, यथा means whatever you are thinking, you become that, right?
Yeah.
Yatha sthiti tatha gati means whatever you are in the state of mind at that time, you become that. In our culture, if you look at it, in my childhood, what they used to ask me to do is, every single day when I take my shower, I was asked to take a tulsi pata, eat it, and take some nirmalya and eat that. Nirmalya means nothing else but the rice that is at the Jagannath Puri after the abada, means the main rice that is been served to the Lord. Whatever is left out, they are dried in the sun, and that becomes the abhada, or called as the kaivalya padartha. Means that particular thing is equivalent to elixir of life. Amrut ke tulya hai mana jata hai. Right? So when you eat that every single day, Chidvilas, so tulsi, Ganga Jal and Nirmalya. When these three things are daily, that becomes your habit. So these things still have a taste.
Yeah.
And throughout your entire life, what is the story told? That if these things are given, you get your path directly to liberation. Got it? Why? What is tulsi related to?
Vishnu.
So if a tulsi is kept in your mouth at that time of your death and you know the taste of it, whom will you remember?
Vishnu.
If Ganga water is poured into your mouth, what would you remember? That Papnasan means it will take away all my sins. I am free from everything now. And Kaivalya, the Nirmalya, that way if I consume it, it will be taking me to the Kaivalya, means moksha prapti hai. So do you realize what they are doing at the end of your life? Even at the end of your life, they are trying to make you remember that you are connected to the divine. The divine is always there. Yatha means the moment you are thinking of that, at what you are thinking about the divine, not about the world. And when you are thinking about the divine, when you leave this mortal body, whom do you think, where are you going? वो कहते हैं ना लोग कि आखिरी समय में हमें अगर भूल गया, these are the last moment reminders that throughout your life you have done this. Now these things are coming for your liberation. So now you understood why Ganga Jal, why Tulsi, and why Nirmalya is given into the mouth at that time. Again, just to bring you back the reminder of the divinity. And if you are thinking of the divine and leaving your mortal body, that itself is liberation. Yatha sthiti tatha gati. So you are thinking of the divine, you go to the path of the divine. Can you see how beautiful it has again been done?
Yeah.
Yes.
And through this story of death, I remember my grandfather's death.
Okay.
Because when he was dying, like we were known that he was going to die in a few moments. So he was laid down on the mat, and then all the ladies of the house were chanting all the mantras they know. And then he was knowingly put tulsi water into his mouth, and then he was gone. Like what I felt was that's the way, is the best way how he can go. Because like it was known, and then the sounds were around, the positive aura was around, and then I felt it was amazing.
It's good. That's good.
Yes, sir.
Now, Sumaji has posted one more question related to that, I believe. So let me check what the question is. But after that, before cremation, they offer rice in their mouth. Why is it? Okay. So you don't even know that? Okay. It's very simple. It is a reminder that everything that you thought was immortal is just a mortal body. You have been feeding it throughout your life, and see what happens to that at the end. The accumulation of the food is again consumed by the fire. Means what you thought to be yourself is not you. The people, those who are around, when they see that, at least they will be aware, even when they are eating the food, reminding themselves always that they are not the body and the body is mortal. The time is running and they should be focusing more towards the divine acts instead of just only running behind the worldly things, because they saw that that body that was created out of that food is burning in front of them. Annam Brahma. Got that, Sumaji? Right. So, Chidvilas. So, now you have like good to see that you have converted that so into and.
Now this will become trouble if you say not to say and.
So, that's it. Or you have any further questions? I believe is bringing up some good, simple yet very, very interesting facts out, right? इसे पता था कि बिल्ली के बाद भी इतना कुछ हो सकता है. चलो, anything else, Chidvilas?
Yes, Guruji. Like if
I
time
would
permits,
like
I
to,
have like
I would like to say one thing, Chidvilas. You rightly said, like, what could have been a better way for somebody to leave this mortal body? The only better way I know beyond that is the one who is awakened before going.
yeah. Very well.
If you have awakened, there is no darkness. It's a travel from light to light.
Yeah.
Because in that space, you are not searching for light. You are the light. Okay. So time permits.
Yes, Guruji. And this, what I felt was when we think about something,
Mhm.
we cannot think out of the things what we heard or what we know.
Okay.
We may be creating combinations of it,
Yes.
but we cannot think above that.
Okay.
Is this called like the trap of Maya? Because we are not going beyond it. We may
Okay.
be making the combinations of it, but not going beyond that.
Got it. So could that be Maya? Yes. Why not? See, what is trapping you into this world? You have to understand, like, mandir, right? When you say a word called as mandir,
Mm.
मतलब क्या होता है? एक मंदिर बाहर होता है, एक मंदिर अंदर होता है. मन का द्वार को मंदिर कहते हैं.
Mm.
So what is the work of the mind? It won't allow you to go there. Because in the realm of divinity, the path that you choose, the mind can travel to a certain extent, and beyond that, there is a boundary that it cannot cross.
Yeah.
So when it cannot cross that boundary, what it does is it tries to stop you even before that. So it does all that it can to stop you before you reach that doorway. Let me tell you a story. Is it okay?
Yeah.
So हरि भाई बोले वाह, इसके लिए भी स्टोरी रखे देखो. So the story goes this way. There was an old lady. Okay. So this old lady was very friendly, always takes care. No one was there in her home, but she always helped the neighbors in any possible way, in any ways.
Mm.
So she was never alone because her house was always filled with kids or people, or somebody will be there at your home because she was so nice and so good.
Mm.
Okay. And she used to take care of all those things. For example, somebody is going somewhere. Okay, दादी माँ आज ये बच्चे को थोड़ा अपने घर में रख लोगे. Happily she used to take care of it. And for that reason, everybody liked her the way she was. Everybody liked her. And what they used to do, she's already old, so she didn't have to cook. So what they used to do is they used to cook food and send to her. जिसके घर में anybody who has done something good in their house, they always send, and not even a single day that old lady had to cook, neither she had ever gone hungry. So some or other way the food will come. And she was happy in a small little hut and everything was going on good. One morning, she goes to a forest, nearby forest. Earlier, no, villages at the end of the village, forests start. It was early morning and she goes into the forest to pick some fruits or flowers, something like that for her puja. While going there, she stumbled upon something. And when she stumbled upon something, it was the morning sun. The rays were falling on it and it started glittering like gold.
Mhm.
When they saw that this glittering is there, this lady saw that this is something glittering, she went close by and started clearing it to see what it is there. And slowly what she discovered that it was a pot from which gold coins were falling off.
Oh.
That entire pot was filled with gold.
Mm.
When the entire pot was filled with gold, the very moment she started thinking, wow, if I have so much of gold now, I can live lavishly, I can have a great house for myself and nothing to be worried about. But at the same time, she thought, if I call someone, they would partake in what I have got. See, the same person who was so loved by everyone and she liked everyone around herself, but the moment that gold hit her, she started thinking, if I call someone, what if they ask for a portion of it? Then what happened is, she thought, let me pull it out. She tried to lift it, she could not. But out of her knowledge that she had gained over the years, she tied two big stems together and made some arrangements through which she started dragging the pot like a crane or something. She made out of wood and tied it with her knots to that, and she tried pulling her and slowly it moved. But while she was moving and thinking what all she will do with that pot full of gold, while turning back, when she turned back, what she saw is that gold is changing color. When she stopped, why the gold is changing color, she stopped back and looked at it and she saw that all the gold coins in the pot have converted into silver coins rather than gold. Even at that moment, she was thinking, oh, gold has changed to silver. My bad luck. Still, silver is worth. I can still have a house. I can still live happily with this kind of silver with me. Gold nahi hai to kya hua? She still need not thought of calling someone. She still started dragging. And further as she was dragging, by looking behind what she saw, even that silver color was changing. And when she went back and looked at it closely, she found that every silver coin has converted itself into iron. Now she sat down there thinking, what happened to me? Now the gold is no more there, the silver is no more there. What would I do with these iron coins? And she was just hitting her head onto the pot. My bad luck, my bad luck, my bad luck. Whose story? Why she got that? Why she could not carry it? Understand the essence of the story. This old lady is just like every one of us. What she was doing? She was taking care of everyone around her with love and gratitude. She never went hungry. What is the first learning? If you are taking care of others, the divine will take care of you. The first learning. The more and more love you spread, the divine is ready to give you back in multifold. That's why when she was in the forest, what happened? She stumbled upon gold. But the moment she stumbled upon the gold, what happened to her? She lost her love for others. She stopped thinking about others. She started thinking about herself. The moment she started thinking about herself, she was jealous of other people. What does jealousy do to you? First and foremost thing, gold was converted to silver. That means your happiness within has been turning sour. You are no more happy as much as you were earlier. Then she even didn't thought that, okay, now pulled, I want to have this thing with me. What happened? The ego popped in. Then it converted itself into silver. Even though means now that has converted itself into what you call lobh mein parinit ho gaya. Right? That strong desire, I should have it. Then what that does? It brings you down. Finally, even if you look at it as the life itself, when you were taking care of others, you were loving others, the divine was taking care of you. And now suddenly you became selfish. You started only thinking about yourself. Even you had doubt about those people with whom you have lived for so long, thinking that if I call them, now just think of, if she called everyone and she distributed the gold, would it have changed the color? It won't. Exactly like this, Chidvilas, in our spiritual journey, whatever the sadhanas that we are doing, whatever learnings we are having, these are like that gold pot. If I hold on to it with myself, if I don't give it to you, if I don't pass it on, what will happen to them? It's of no use. Jungle mein nacha mor kisne dekha. I might be having a full of gold of things, but what is the use of it? Ultimately, what will happen is that unused knowledge that I was sent with to spread, I keep it myself. I become selfish about it. And when I become selfish about it, what happened to the gold? It converted into silver. And when I was still having that, oh, still silver is good enough, I can hold on to. What happened to that? It became rusted iron. Similarly, in our spiritual journey also, the sadhana that you do, the mantras that you do, there are certain things you should always pass on good things to people as well. Why? Because if I only keep it to myself, what will happen? Just think of, I don't share all this thing to you. I can live in my dream world that I know. Of what use? Of what use is it? And all the good things that you know, if you don't spread it, what use of it? It's not what you have, it's what you do with it. What you do with it changes everything about it. So see, when she had that only desire for herself, you saw that the divine started pulling it back. It was like a grace, it was like a blessing. And now the blessing was moved away. At the end, some people will never understand in this life what they are losing out, because they are all thinking about themselves. At the end of the life, what is left out? They will just hit their head onto the pot, just like this old lady understood at the fag end of it. Similarly, at the end of our lives, we will be sitting and thinking, what all great things were given to me. I never utilized that. And what happened to me now? I lost this life again. Never to know what will happen to me after this. I lost the chance that was given to me. So it's a reminder. It might be a story of a child. It might be a story from a small little book. But the reminders are always profound. So similarly, Chidvilas, when these things are given to us, we should always give our best and Sharing is caring, that's what it is said. Make sense?
Yes.
Now tell me, what was your question?
Don't remember.
So what question is there now with you? Now, after listening to this story, what's your question?
I have to share everything to people, whatever I know.
No, I'm not asking what you will do. I'm asking what is the question left with you?
Like about what you said.
Right? So it's about like a reminder for all of us that the divine always has a blessing. Is we are all surrounded by it until we become selfish. We only think of ourselves. We become deserted, you know. I only understand when I look at a desert, I understand only one thing. It has become so selfish that it does not allow water to even flow on it. That's why it's a desert. Is it not? वो दूसरे के लिए जगह ही नहीं रखता, और उसके ऊपर उगते भी क्या है? What kind of plants grow on them? Thorns, cactus. And that's how it is. And we all know, Chidvilas, what I'm saying is if you go back and trace back on the geographical maps, they would indicate that the biggest of the deserts used to be sea and ocean at a time. And how they converted from an ocean to a dry land to a desert, because they only wanted things for themselves. They only thought about themselves, and what left was only dry dunes and sand dunes left out for them. Similarly, in the life of the people, those who have always thought of themselves, you will find the same thing happening to them. Undoubtedly, they grow flowers, the flowers that they even don't like. And they complain why this has happened. So when that is the thing, you should remember again the story of this old lady. Tell this story to people. It's a very simple way of making them understand that if you are not caring for others, you will never experience the divinity. It's for sure, because the divine comes to your home as a child, comes to you as your neighbor, comes to you as somebody as the food that they have provided you. We were all made with love. And what are we spreading is the question. Right? So Chidvilas, as a way of saying this, I would like to say, it's not only my job to give you the answers for your questions. At times, it is my job to change the questions itself. Because the right kind of questions will lead to right kind of answers. You might have asked a very simple thing, but you see where you have come to such a profound space that you are not even able to remember what your question was. Can anybody tell me what was his question? This is the trajectory that I'm speaking of. The jumping from one space to another, even without you realizing that just a story came in and everything was washed away. What is that longing going on within you? It's like a continuous remembrance going on within you. Oh my God, what if I am that? But don't worry, if you are that, you will not feel that pain of it. If you feel the pain of it, if there is something is going on within you, kaun aa gaya hai? Who has appeared? Narayan, Narayan. Now tell me, that's where I say, I will not allow any moment of your life to go without the divine. Because every speck will become that. And that's how you will realize, no, the divine is there in every speck of it. Whether it is cat, rat, mat, whatever. Everything is a reminder of the divine and everything becomes divine for me. Okay.
Yes,
So thank you, Chidvilas, for your questions, and I believe like I was able to answer them, and I was really happy to make you even forget your questions. Amazing. Now some people literally have to go back to the recording to really think like, अरे सच में question क्या था? And that's how at least you will go back to listen to that, and when you listen to that, you will connect back to the divine again. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Chidvilas.
Thank you.
Aditi ji, please unmute yourself.
हर हर महादेव।
हर हर महादेव। कैसे भी शिव जागृत होने वाले, वाह।
3-4 क्वेश्चन है महादेव, तो उसमें
Very
से
good. तो इसी से हो जाएगा।
कौन से पॉसिबल है अभी आंसर देना?
Okay.
मैं पूछती हूँ, आप बता दीजिए।
हम्म।
तो पहला सवाल है, भगवत गीता में जो नवविध भक्ति का जो आया है ना,
Okay.
उसके बारे में जानना था महादेव।
Okay.
तो क्या है मीन्स वो सब?
अब पढ़े आप हो, आप बताना चाहिए, मैं कैसे बता सकता हूँ? जो नहीं पढ़ा वो कैसे बताएगा, बताओ। What is the specific question in that? Because ये that is even an entire chapter in it. So मैं क्या करूँ, उसको पूरा पढ़ूं अभी? So if you have
इसीलिए तो
any
मैं
specific question in that, you can ask me with this.
नहीं, वो सभी जानना था महादेव, आपके
सभी जानना है
वर्जन
तो
में,
then
आपका वर्जन,
then
आपके
I
वर्जन
don't know. I
में।
have to take another session on that, and I don't know if it is one session, two
मुझे
session,
उनका
three session.
इंटरप्रिटेशन नहीं महादेव, आपका इंटरप्रिटेशन जानना था, इसलिए आपसे पूछा।
So then it has to go into a session then. Navada Bhakti, right?
नवविध भक्ति। तो ये सवाल इसलिए ऐसे महादेव आ रहे हैं क्योंकि ये जो रामसुखदास जी, संत रामसुखदास जी ने ये जो लिखा है पूरा बुक, तो इसको जब पढ़ रही हूँ तो मुझे ऐसे रियलाइज हो रहा है महादेव कि इन्होंने इतना अभ्यास किया है उसके ऊपर, लाइक 103 साल वो जिए हैं, उसमें वो तो सन्यासी थे, पूरा टाइम उन्होंने ये पूरा अभ्यास में ये ग्रंथों को लिखने के लिए लगा दिया है, जो अभी हमें हेल्पफुल हो रहा है। तो एक बात मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रही है महादेव कि अगर कोई एक संत आके इतना अभ्यास करके ये सब अगर लिख रहे, हमारे ये तुलसीदास जी हो, व्यास मुनि हो, ये सब, तो क्या ये रियली सच में पॉसिबल है महादेव हमारे लिए? क्योंकि हम तो मीन्स हम तो फैमिली वाले लोग हैं, वी आर टेकिंग केयर ऑफ फैमिली, हम लोग तो इतना टाइम भी इन्वेस्ट नहीं करते उस चीज के लिए, उतना हमारा अभ्यास भी नहीं है। तो क्या ये इन सब बातों को समझने के लिए हमारी उतनी कैपेसिटी है महादेव रियली? क्योंकि इन लोगों को इतना सब कुछ, उनके पास इतना बोल सकते कि आसमान था, उसमें से उन्होंने कुछ बूंदे यहाँ पे लिख दिए, ऐसे वो बोल रहे कि आसमान से मैंने कुछ बूंदे लिख दी है, उतना ही लिख सके, और उस बूंदों में से हम तो कहीं पे भी नहीं महादेव, तो क्या ये सच में समझ पाएंगे? या फिर ये सब जो अवेलेबल है पुराणास वेदस महादेव, दे आर रियली ग्रेट, और ये लाइफ का पाथ हमको दिखाते हैं, बट उन्होंने इनके ऊपर इतना अभ्यास किया है, तो क्या हम मीन्स हम खाली उसको पढ़ रहे हैं और ऐसा हमको लग रहा है कि हमें एक 1%, 0.5%, 25% समझ में आ रहा है, तो क्या है महादेव? मीन्स रियली मीन्स
very sad story, right? Yeah,
नहीं
is it
महादेव
really
मीन्स हम
possible
लोग
for us to even understand that, even to go through that, even we can do that kind of sadhana, what they have done, what will happen to us? यही है question.
हाँ महादेव, जो लग तो ऐसे ही रहा है महादेव।
I'll give you such a simple and silly answer that you will be awake in a moment. Are you okay?
Okay महादेव।
Is there a bulb lighted up in your house? Who discovered it? Thomas Alva Edison. Correct? Okay. Do you know how many times he failed before making that bulb? More than 1,000 times.
Yes.
And finally he made the bulb. And now I'm looking at the bulb thinking, oh my God, he had done so much of sadhana. He has failed for 1,000 times and he has created this bulb. How can I even take that light from that bulb until I do that kind of sadhana? Hello. They have done all that so that you get it.
Yes.
I don't have to discover the bulb again. The bulb is created and it is lighting up the entire creation, humanity. That's what I'm saying. Whatever they have written is like a light that is available for all the entire humanity, and it is enough to light up all our lives. Instead of, if we just think ourselves in that space, it is nothing wrong to have a question on yourself that whether am I doing it right or not. That's the right question. But if I feel that I am not good enough, if I am not capable enough, that something is actually pulling you down. So here, all these things that has been written, what are they indicating? They are simply indicating that they were also just like you, but they have devoted their entire life so that you get the elixir of it. Now, just think of, I ask for a glass of juice. Now, when a glass of juice comes to you, it can come in a Tetra Pak or a glass, whatever way it comes to you. When you have it, do you sit and think like, oh my God, how many days the farmer must have toiled in the farm? What might have happened to him? He might have taken a loan or not, from where he took it, how it came, how this happened. Now the glass of juice is served in cool form to you. Your work is to drink it. If I just put it in front of me and think, I still remember one thing, Aditi ji. There was one of my teammates quite some time ago. So there was some urgent work. So I asked him to like return back after lunch, return back early because there is a lot of work that can be completed. He was sitting, I was waiting for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 55 minutes. I went there. I said, what happened? You have not completed your food yet? Sir, food is something to be respected, and more respected for the farmer who has made it. So it takes time. I said, then we'll do one thing. I'll give you 5 days off, leave, go and pay your homage and come back. So can you see, in that way, if I just sit there and think, if that was the case, they would have written something, Aditi ji, that if you are a householder, you cannot get this.
Nahi, Mahadev, actually, what I was feeling is like, it's like a boon or blessing for us that ये सब कुछ रेडीमेड है, मीन्स उनको इतना अभ्यास करने के बाद उन्होंने ये जो लिखा है,
तो आपको क्या
ये सब
प्रॉब्लम है?
ब्लेसिंग नहीं प्रॉब्लम नहीं महादेव, मुझे ऐसे ऐसे बोल मीन्स पूछना था कि ये मीन्स कलयुग में ये सब कुछ थोड़ा ज्यादा आसानी से
तो
अवेलेबल
आपको
कर
प्रॉब्लम
दिया
है?
है क्या?
नहीं नहीं, आपको
नहीं
प्रॉब्लम है तो आपको बड़ा तकलीफ वाला रास्ता देते, कांटे के ऊपर खड़े हो जाओ, उल्टा लटक जाओ, सर के बल खड़े हो जाओ। अगर आपको चाहिए वो सारी साधनाएं हैं, पूरा अष्टांग योग सिखा देंगे, उसमें वही सब करते रहना।
नहीं महादेव, ये नहीं था सवाल मेरा।
So the simple thing is, Aditi ji, when all these things are available, we should be grateful for that, right?
Yes,
We
yes.
should be so happy that, okay, because of the great task done by the masters, these things are so easily available to us. How benevolent they must have been that they thought of us and they have written it down so that we get it at an easy way. It's the
Yes.
grace of the divine that he has given me. He has chosen me to go through that. How thankful I should be, rather than of thinking,
यही
"मैं कैसे होगा?"
नहीं महादेव, वो मैं वैसे नहीं कह रही थी, मैं ब्लेसिंग के बारे में बोल रही थी कि मीन्स उनको इतना मीन्स हार्ड वर्क पड़ा, मीन्स उन्होंने इतना टाइम इन्वेस्ट करके भी, और हम लोगों को इजीली मिल रहा है कि समटाइम्स डाउट नहीं है बट सरप्राइज विद द बून ऐसे होता है ना।
क्यों? Why?
It's not doubt, Mahadev, but surprise with the boons means how is it so simply available?
No, it is not simply available. For that old lady, you remember, it was not easily available, the gold. She stumbled upon. Why she stumbled upon? Because it was the grace of the divine. You have stumbled upon such knowledge. Why? Because it's the grace of the divine. It's not my thought even to think whether it has come to me easily or in a tough way. I just accept the path what has been given to me. Now we should always have homage. That's why na guru ko kyun rakha gaya hai samne? That is the only reason, because these people came to live. They could have lived their own lives, but they dedicated it for the entire humanity. They not only paved their own path, they created the path for all of us to walk on that. जिसने हमें 10 रुपए दिया है, जिसने हमें 100 रुपए दिया है, जिसने 1000 रुपए दिया है, we feel so thankful to them. Now the people, those who have given the elixir of life to us, how grateful should we be? We forget that part, Aditi. I don't say like we are all forgetting. I say that people forget it. See, all these things are available, but how many people are reading it? And you see, the best of the things are kept for the best of the people. How many people are reading what you are reading? Why did you thought of reading it? Why did it landed in your hands? Then I don't say think like unworthy people will get the worthiest of the things. It won't happen. That's not law of nature.
It's very interesting book. Very interesting.
Okay.
Sometimes
So
I
not
feel
worry.
like कि हमें भी कभी ऐसा टाइम मिलना चाहिए कि कभी कुछ भी डिस्टरबेंस ना हो और उसको पढ़ते ही जाए, पढ़ते ही जाए, पढ़ते ही जाए. Sometime I also feel like that कि कभी ऐसा भी समय मिलना चाहिए.
Of course, you can. And you should. देखो, मन जब एकाग्र हो जाता है ना, तो अकेला भी हो जाता है. अकेले तो नहीं, एकांत हो जाता है उसका.
Yes, yes, yes.
So if you can sit, you can read. It does not matter. It's not like it should be for hours. It can be 1 minute, and that 1 minute is my sanctuary. Right? Sure.
तो मीन्स ये डाउट नहीं था महादेव. इट्स जस्ट आई एम नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड कि उनका हार्डवर्क इतना था, तो वो मनोगत में उन्होंने जितना लिखा था कि कैसे कैसे ये बुक उन्होंने क्रिएट किया था, वो पढ़ के मुझे मीन्स वो रियलाइज हो रहा था कि कितनी साधना, कितनी तपस्या और कितने घंटे उनका वो ये सब कुछ था. तो वो डेडिकेशन के लिए आई एम रियली मीन्स
Yes.
वो मेरे पास उसके लिए वर्ड्स नहीं है महादेव.
We
Such a
cannot
great
put it into,
task.
yes, we
Such a
cannot put
great
it into
task.
words. Absolutely
Yes.
agreed.
उन्होंने इतनी बार भगवत गीता का पारायण किया, लोगों के घर पे जाके पूरा अर्थ के साथ, जगह जगह में भारत में जाके. उन्होंने कभी एक रुपया भी किससे नहीं लिया, कभी खुद का फोटो भी नहीं निकाला, कुछ भी नहीं. मीन्स he don't want anything in return. What
Yet
kind
we
of
are speaking of
selfless.
that person now.
Yes, Mahadev. Yes.
See, greatness won't hide.
Yes. Even उन्होंने खुद के जो भी कुछ चीजें थी, उनके पास खुद का तो कुछ भी नहीं था. तो उन्होंने जब उनका डेथ हुआ, इच्छा मरण था उनका भी, तो उसके बाद जब उनका डेथ हुआ तो उन्होंने उनके नजदीक के लोगों को बोल चुके थे कि मेरा आसन, मेरा जप माला वही उनका प्रॉपर्टी था, वो सब भी उसको भी उसमें दान कर दो, कि वो भी बचना नहीं चाहिए. मेरा एक भी मेरा आइडेंटिटी या फिर मेरी कुछ चीज पीछे नहीं रहनी चाहिए. सब कुछ मेरे साथ जाएगा.
Now you understand?
Yes.
When you give away everything to the divine ensures you are remembered. उसने तो सब दान कर दिया, फिर आप उसका बात कैसे कर सकते हो? आप उनका नाम कैसे जानते हो? आप उनके बारे में इतनी सारी चीजें कैसे बोल सकते हो अगर उन्होंने सब कुछ मिटा ही दिया है तो? There is a divine way, Aditi ji. Even there is no desire left out by the devotee, but there is a desire of the creator. It says, तेरी इच्छा है नहीं, मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, लेकिन मेरी इच्छा है कि मैं तुझे राजा बना दूं. What did you learn from the story when Sudama went to Krishna? Did he went to get so much of wealth? He said, मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए, बस एक दर्शन मिल गया, मेरे दोस्त से मिल गया, that is enough. Although her wife has told that, but you don't know the entire story of the greatness of the wife of Sudama. How many of you have heard of her? सुदामा की पत्नी की जो greatness है, many people have never spoken about her. That's like amazing story. Might be someday. Wow, how Sudama actually became so
Yeah.
poor and all that
Mm,
story, right?
Yes, yes.
So when Sudama went there, he went with a simple offering that this is what I have and this is what I give away. उसके पास और कुछ था भी नहीं, वो जो भी था उसने दे दिया. उसके बदले में उसने क्या दिया? What I'm asking you is the same thing. What I'm saying is the same thing. See, you might not have any more desire, but उसके desire के सामने कौन रोक सकता है? That's where I say, you cannot be free of desires, but your desire can free you. So that's the ultimate thing. If you
Yes.
look at all those things, the beauty of the life that they have dedicated, the only thing that we can say is thankfulness, nothing else. Okay. So any other questions?
Yes, Madhu. तो ये चिदविलास जो बात कर रहा था, लास्ट टाइम आई थिंक मैंने आपसे भी ये बात की थी. ये हर बार मीन्स कोई इंसान मर जाता है, तो हमारे यहाँ पे सनातन धर्म में शैव और वैष्णव ऑलरेडी वैसे पार्टीशन है ही, मीन्स लोगों के मन से उन्होंने
हमें
वो
तो नहीं पता वो किन में
हाँ
है.
बोलते तो है ना महादेव. तो व्हाट माय क्वेश्चन इज कि लोग इतने भी मीन्स क्या वो चीज के पीछे पड़ते हैं कि वो मरने के बाद भी उनके नाम के आगे फिर कोई लिखता है कैलाशवासी, कोई लिखता है वैकुंठवासी, मीन्स मरने के बाद भी नहीं छोड़ते महादेव. व्हाई दे वांट टू डिसाइड द डेस्टिनेशंस एंड ऑल, व्हाई दिस? बट ये भी
I'll tell you, it does not matter.
डाइजेस्ट नहीं होता है.
आप कुछ भी लिख दो, ओके, आप कैलाश वासी लिखो, वैकुंठ वासी लिखो, अंदर से वासी हो गए हो. ठीक है. So you have to understand that first. I'll tell you. Let me tell you a story. अब चिदविलास बोला इसके लिए भी स्टोरी है. अब ये फिर क्वेश्चन भूल जाते लास्ट में. One thing I noticed, Aditi ji, as I was talking about, the moment you said Chidvilas, he was sitting somewhere else. He ran in front of the camera. So now, से ये सारे चीजें देख लेते हो क्या? अच्छा, okay. So now the story time. When we are talking about that particular point that you have mentioned, right? कि ये नाम लिख देने से क्या होगा, ये होगा, वो होगा. Quite a typical story, and might be at the end of it, we will come to the same thing that you have said. There was a rich person, and at the same time, he helped people. And anybody comes to him, he gives something or other, they are happy and they go. So when it happened frequently, he started thinking that he is the god of happiness. Because anybody comes to him with sorrow, anyone who comes to his house with sorrow, he gives them something and they're happy and they go. And so slowly, he started thinking that he is the god of happiness, and he thought that I can make anyone happy in this world. Was absolutely rich. Okay. So one fine day, lo behold, he reaches out to one ashram where a guru was there and he was giving a discourse. And in that discourse, the guru was talking about, you cannot make anyone happy. Can you see the timing of the divine? One who thinks to be the god of happiness, and in front of him, what is the topic going on? You cannot make anyone happy. Now he waited till his nerves, because अब इतने सारे लोग बैठ के सुने, so many people are listening. Why should I stop? Let me talk to him at the end. So at the end, what happened is, when he goes to the Guru and says, you talked everything so well, but I don't agree with one thing. He said, why didn't you agree with one thing? He said, you said that nobody can make anybody happy. I don't agree to that because I think I am the God of happiness and I can make anyone happy. So why did you said so? So the Guru laughed and said, yes, what I said is true because you cannot make everyone happy. So he said, but I don't agree to that. Can you prove it? Guru says, yeah, okay, fine. I will send you to one person. उसका नाम क्या है? उसका नाम है दुखी राम. What's the name? दुखी राम. राम फिर दुखी. So Dukhi Ram. He says, in that village, there is a person named as Dukhi Ram. Go and make him happy. I will agree to what you say that you are God of happiness. He said, that's it. Okay. So he takes the address. He takes a chariot filled with gold and all those things. He says, let me see. Why only Dukhi Ram? I will make the entire village happy only. But let me start with Dukhi Ram. So when he went to Dukhi Ram's house, he knocked on the door and Dukhi Ram came down. He was living in a very broken, shaky house. It might fall off any time. So he asked, I heard that your name is Dukhi Ram. He says, yes. Now what can I do for you to make you happy? He looked at him. He saw that there is a golden chariot outside. He says, you see, this house is broken. If I had a good house. Then this person says, oh, that's it. He pulls out 2 gold coins, keeps it in his hand and says, hey, take it. You can repair his house. And by looking at the gold coin, the person starts crying further. He says, why are you crying now? Now, what would I do with only the house when I don't have a family? The rich man says, that's it. Pulls out a bag full of gold coin, puts it in and take it, have family. Now, looking at that whole bag full of coin, he cries more. He said, what happened? No, you have given me the money to have a family and a house, but the house is small. When other relatives come, where would they stay? Okay, I need a further bigger house. So he says, okay, take it more. And by taking a box full of gold coins, he started crying more. He said, what are you crying? Now, one fine day, all this coin will go. What will I do after that? I should do something. He said, okay, remove that box. I give a bigger box. And he says, take this, start your own small little business. By looking at that box, he started crying more. He said, what happened? Why are you crying now? What should I do with a small little business? I should become so rich that I should have a big name, fame everywhere. He says, okay, do one thing, the whole filled with chariot, you take that entire thing. By listening to that, he starts crying more. He says, now what? I have given you so much, enough for your 7 generations. Why are you crying now? Now, where will I keep it? If people come to know, they will steal it from me. Then this person says, okay, let's do one thing. You hide that entire wealth in your home, and whenever you need it, you can bring it out. He was still worried and he says, okay, let's do that. They dig the hole. It was night by that time. They buried the entire gold. The rich person was sleeping, but what he noticed that the other person is not able to sleep throughout the night. Dukhi Ram abhi bhi sukhi nahi hua. He's roaming around. After some time, in the stark, dark night, that person comes with a big stone and was about to hit the head of the man to kill him. The rich man, you remember? Dukhi Ram ek patthar leke aata and he was about to hit him. He woke up and he sighed and he saved himself. He says, you mad fellow, what are you doing? I tried to help you and you're trying to kill me. He said, what should I do? I'm not able to sleep. He said, why are you not able to sleep? Now, I'm not able to sleep because I have so much of money and nobody else knows except you. And until you are alive, there is always a fear that somebody will steal it from me. And saving his life, he ran away from that place, reaches out to the Guru and says, कहाँ भेज दिए? भगवान का भूत उतर गया. So similarly, Aditi ji, there are people, those who will put a big stone. What is that stone? That the last stone. Thinking that the God that has given me all this, I am bigger than that. Let me put that stone in his temple with my entire name on it. And then I select which place I go. The writing won't make you go there. Because throughout your life, you have never been happy. You are just like Dukhi Ram. जो जीवन भर दुखी रहा वो अंत में सुखी कैसे हो सकता है? If you have not lived your life now, how do you think life would be spared by death? There are two ways of living, Aditi ji. Either you are living your life or your death is living you. What does that mean? It means in a very simple way. Once a student asked, why did you say that there are two ways of living life? The guru, in order to understand that, make him understand, he says, bring a stick. And he burns the stick from one end. He says, this stick is your life. The burnt part is the life of your death because it is coming closer, 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 and your life is becoming shorter, shorter, shorter. So whether you are focusing on what the life is left and you are living it, or you are only focusing what the death is eating up and you are dying every moment. If a person has always died every moment throughout his life, at the end of its life, it will start to seek कि अगर कुछ देर और बच जाता, if I would have lived for some more time, if I just had few more minutes, if I had few more days, if I had few more weeks, few more months. My dear friend, you have never lived. That's why when it's time for death, you are seeking life. And when it was time for life and living, you are dying every moment. So those people, what will happen to them? They can only do one thing: inscribe their names on the stones and become mummies. Nothing else. When this life was given to you, if you have lived in such a way, no inscription is required to tell what you were. Your life is your message. Isn't it? So what about those people? लिखो, कुछ भी लिखना है, पैसे देके कुछ भी लिखा सकते हो, लेकिन वहां तो लिखा दोगे, सच में पहुंच पाओगे क्या? किसी के हाथ से लिखा नहीं सकते, अपने हाथ से लिखे हो. You have written with your own hands. When the life was given to you, what have you written? That's what you are going to get. क्या मिलेगा?
लिखने की मीन्स बात महादेव लिखने का इशू नहीं, बस ये द्वैत खत्म ही नहीं होता ये और ये लोगों का.
So can you even think that these people can find a way, because they will again be lost in duality?
हाँ, वो लिखने में वो सब कुछ समझ में आ रहा है ना, तो इसीलिए मुझे वो स्ट्राइक हुआ महादेव की. लिखना ही क्या है फिर इसका? गाइड नहीं, उनको शायद गाइडेंस नहीं मिला होगा.
नहीं मिला होगा.
They don't understand.
They didn't understand, might be their
Yes.
wake up time is a bit delayed. That's it. So what we can do is we can just make them remind those things, but stone on the wall are stone on the wall.
फिर अभी तो आप महादेव बोल रहे थे ना कि हम लोगों को सेल्फिश नहीं होना चाहिए, बट हाउ टू ट्राई टू टॉक टू पीपल अबाउट ऑल दिस थिंग्स, मीन्स स्पेशली अबाउट ड्युअलिटी. और ये जो लोग ऐसे शैव वैष्णव ये सब जो करते हैं ना महादेव, अगर किसी के साथ उसके बारे में बात करनी है तो उनको वो समझाने के लिए उनका फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल उनकी मेंटालिटी तो चाहिए ना कि बात सुने. तब हम उन तक पहुंच सकते हैं ना. उनका माइंड सेट इतना फिक्स है, तो हाउ कैन वी रीच महादेव? और आप बोल रहे हो कि ये स्पिरिचुअल अपने तक मत रखो. हम लोग ट्राई कर सकते हैं, बट I don't think so कि आपके जैसा
I'll tell
तो
you one thing.
possible ही नहीं है, but
See, Aditi ji,
convincing them.
you don't try, you don't convince anyone in this path. You just speak. It's just like this. Since our childhood, we go to the rooftop and then we throw some food or rice grains or something, and the birds come and feed on it,
Hmm.
right? But when you are putting the rice, have you noticed one specific thing? Only pigeons come. No other birds are coming. What does that mean? That food is for them. I keep on speaking, I keep on spreading that word. And the ones, those who can relate to it will come. There is no trying. There is no convincing.
Yes.
भीड़ की जरूरत है क्या हमको? भीड़ इकट्ठा करना होता तो हम किसी को जाने नहीं देते, सबको बांध देते थे, कहते थे कि देखो अब से तुम हमारे साथ जुड़ गए हो, सब कुछ छोड़ दो नहीं तो मर जाओगे। अरे मरना तो कैसे भी है सबको, मैं बोलूं ना बोलूं। लेकिन हम कहते क्या है कि मरोगे तो जरूर लेकिन तरोगे भी जरूर। But the people, those who still have desire to live, still have desire to experience something, those who really want to come back, they will continue their journey. That is their choice. When the divine has not stopped them, who am I to stop them? So our work is what? Have you seen? That's what I told you, Aditi, the first day itself when we started the session. I said, Haribhai remembers that statement very clearly. It does not matter whether there is one person or a million. I'll speak the same thing that I am speaking now. It does not matter. And when there is no one, I will listen to what he is speaking to me. That's my way of living. How can I be bound by other people's theory, other people's wishes, and other people what the way they want me to see? Why should I? So Aditi, I'm not trying, I'm not convincing. So what I'm doing, I'm just keeping my way of word that I understood, trying to put it in as simple possible ways. And some people will awake, some people won't. The whispers of the divine beings won't be heard by the sleeping souls. But the ones, those who are ready to awake, a whisper is enough. The one who are ready to take the journey, a single hiss of wind is enough to wake them up. And it's just like this. The people, those who are ready for a journey, even before the alarm goes, they wake up 2 minutes early than that. So those, you look at yourself, how did you come? Did I went to your home, tied your hands and legs and said, come on? No, it's not like that. Now look at all the people sitting here. Did we tide you? No. You see that small little boy sitting there and still listening to it. Have we tied him? No. I don't know whether Vaniji has tied him or not, but at least good that he is sitting and listening to that. And at times he's smiling, that means he's understanding. So whatever way it is. Yes, Siddharth, I'm talking about you only, the hidden God. He only comes a little bit, shows his face and goes away. So thank you for listening in so carefully. So that's how, Aditi ji, we don't have to, namaskar.
Right.
We don't have to try. We don't have to convince. Let the right people arise. Let the right people come. Let the right people go through this path. Don't worry, as I have promised. If everybody is gone and still one is left, don't worry. I'll continue that. The guidance won't stop. क्या मिलेगा मुझे लोगों से? अगर उससे अच्छा तो मैं बैठ के आप how people see I could have browsed on and binged on Netflix and what all you people have that OTTs. How is matters? Okay, Aditi. So
Yes. One
our
more
work is
last.
very simple. Keep speaking.
Yes.
Right people will appear. and the wrong people will disappear.
But
I don't
want to I don't want to decide that also, Mahadev, ki right people or wrong people. It's also
No.
not my job.
Did I said that to decide? I said speak. We are not judges of people. Let them decide. Are they really seeking, or it is just a entertainment Wednesday and Sunday? Isn't it?
No, it's not about our sessions, Mahadev.
No, I'm just taking because I
outside.
cannot give anything else. I'm talking about myself. So you keep speaking.
Yes.
और जब वो सब कुछ हमारे हाथ में नहीं है तो हम उसकी चिंता भी क्यों करें?
चिंता ऐसे नहीं महादेव, फिर आप बोलते कि वी शुड स्प्रेड समथिंग लिटिल बिट, एटलीस्ट वन सेंटेंस.
I will tell you one thing, Aditi. Knowingly, unknowingly, all of you speak the same language that I speak.
Yes, Mahadev. Copy paste, you can say like that.
Whether you like it or not, you tell the same stories to people even without not liking my stories.
Not possible. We always love your stories, Mahadev.
So, can you see what happened to you?
Yes, Mahadev.
So that's where, just like this has become a vessel through which the divine speaks, you have become the vessel through which that divine is speaking through you now. And you know what, Aditi ji? There are very few who can listen to the voice of the divine.
So good.
And the divine is not worried because it knows it was, it is, it will be. But thankful we are that it has chosen us. और क्या चाहिए? Okay?
Yes, one more last question, Mahadev.
Okay.
This is something I don't know, we need it. Sometimes I feel, means myself, I feel I need it. So I'm asking you, is there any solution to
Okay.
this? कभी कभी किसी के घर महादेव उनको खाने के लिए बुलाते हैं ना, तो वहां पे जाके खाने का मन नहीं होता है, या फिर वो कुछ सिचुएशंस ऐसे होते हैं, या फिर लोग वैसे होते हैं, या फिर प्लेस वैसी होती है, व्हाटएवर. तो वो खाने का और पीने का मीन्स उन लोगों के वजह से या फिर वो सिचुएशन की वजह से वो वाइब्रेशंस नहीं आते कि should go and eat, but we have to because we need to maintain the relation. We can't say no directly, but इस ऐसे अगर मन में ऐसे ये है तो क्या है, हम लोग सिंपल सा कोई जाप करके या फिर एटलीस्ट वी कैन रिमाइंड सम गॉड एंड वी हैव दैट फूड, कि वो ऐसे भी बोलते हैं ना महादेव कि खाना जो बनाता है उसके जो
Vibrations.
भाव हाँ उसमें आते हैं.
Okay.
तो वो और वो अगर भाव मीन्स वो चेंज होते हैं तो समहाउ वो कुछ तो उसका इफेक्ट होता होगा महादेव. और
Okay.
और we are like not prepared to go and eat there, मीन्स वो एक मेंटल मीन्स अंदर से इच्छा नहीं होती है महादेव. सम टाइम इट हैपेंस. और
Okay.
तो अगर कभी कभी ऐसी प्लेसेस भी रहती है कि वहां पे जाने का मन नहीं होता है बिल्कुल भी, बट वी हैव टू गो. तो ऐसे सब जगह पे जाने के लिए या फिर वो फूड खाने के लिए या फिर वो चीजें करने के लिए हाउ टू
Go there and okay.
consume it, but
Consume it.
कंज्यूम भी है, बट अदरवाइज व्हाट आई एम आस्किंग महादेव कि हम खुद को क्या क्या कर ले खुद के साथ, कि जैसे कुछ कवच या फिर कुछ जाप या फिर कौन से गॉड का रिमाइंड करके हम लोग हो जाए तो दैट वाइब्रेशंस और दैट फूड डोंट अफेक्ट अस,
Okay.
विल नॉट अफेक्ट अस.
Okay.
ऐसा कुछ सॉल्यूशन
Okay.
कभी
got
कभी
it.
जरूरी लगता है महादेव फॉर
Okay.
प्लेस, फॉर गोइंग टू सम प्लेसेस आल्सो.
So the first struggle is looking good and feeling good. That's the first struggle that you cannot overcome, because even though you don't feel good, you look good because you have to go. क्योंकि रिलेशन रखना है जो आपने कहा.
हाँ.
So looking good हो गया, feeling good तो नहीं है वहां पे कुछ भी. जबरदस्ती जाना. right? Okay. Then the second thing, you have already answered what to do. आपने कहा कि ऐसे कौन से भगवान को याद करूं कि वहां जाने के टाइम, कोई मंत्र, कोई जाप. ओके. तो जब आपने ये कहा कि भगवान को याद करो, लाइक आई शुड बी थिंकिंग ऑफ द गॉड, दैट इटसेल्फ इज द सॉल्यूशन, राइट? तो सिंपली बोल देना कि भाई wherever you are taking me, it's your design, not my calling. So you take care where I am going now. You take care of the vibration, you take care of the frequency, you take care of whatever. Now, first and foremost thing, Aditi ji, in every speck of the food, if you see the Brahman, what vibration are you creating? Haven't we seen those people, Aditi ji, the moment they look at the food, they count calories. They don't see the food, they see calories in it. So some people are there, those who will go, they will not see the food, in the God in the Brahman or in the food. They will see the vibration. Oh my God, what if the vibration is bad? No, for me, the vibration is absolutely perfect. But what you asked for, we can initiate you on a particular Brahman mantra. Brahman mantra वो होता है कि सारा जो भी पदार्थ है, means whatever food you are giving it to the Brahma first. आपने देखा होगा ब्राह्मण के घरों में, they sit with the water and before they eat, they do the
Chitravati.
When they are doing that, what is that mantra? That mantra itself speaks of that whatever it is there, I offer it to the Brahman, and the Brahman touch it and make it as purified as it can, and then I consume it as the prasad of that Brahman. कोई भी बनाने दो.
नहीं महादेव, वो फूड के बारे में या बनाने वाले के बारे में नहीं है.
आप वही पूछे थे.
होस्ट के बारे में. Host.
No. You are changing your question. Your question was related to food. Now the answer has been given for the food. Now ask the next question.
The host.
The host. Okay, what about the host now? You said what about the food? He cooked the food, the vibration will be there. So your answer was going in the line of food. Now if you have another question, ask that. I will answer that also. About the host of the person. Okay. So the person who is hosting. So what about that?
हम उसके घर जाना नहीं चाहते महादेव.
तो मत जाओ ना. सीधा सीधा मुंह पे मना कर दो कि नहीं जाना है.
ऐसे नहीं पॉसिबल होता है ना. Every time we can't do that. We don't have excuses sometimes. But
see, I should not tell this on camera, but I have the best of the excuses. I used to use it in my school days. Nobody can doubt you on that. Shall I give you excuse?
Please.
No problem. Go to the washroom 20 times.
इससे क्या होगा महादेव? वो पोस्टपोन हो जाएगा.
हाँ, तो पोस्टपोन जिस दिन पोस्टपोन होगा उस दिन मेरा पेट खराब होगा. वो कितना दिन पोस्टपोन करेंगे मैं भी देखना चाहता हूँ. हरे कृष्ण की इतनी बातें करते हो, कोई हट नहीं है आप में, कोई नटखटपन नहीं है आप में, क्या बात कर रहे हो आप? So that's what I said. I should not be speaking it on camera. But I look in this way, Aditi ji, rather than killing myself within, I'd go to the washroom. And okay, even if you have to go somewhere, there is no escape that you say.
Yes.
So why do you need a mantra? एक ही काम करना, वहां जाना, भगवान की बातें करना. वो आपको नहीं बुलाएंगे.
They don't like.
वही तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ, वो आपको नहीं बुलाएंगे. What do you think? If you go and जैसे याद है, सब कैसे है? भगवान की बड़ी कृपा. कैसे आए? उसी ने सब कुछ व्यवस्था कर दी. बोलेंगे ये पागल हो गए, दूसरे बार बुलाएंगे ही नहीं. आप मुक्त, वो मुक्त. क्या बात कर? Do you even really have to think on this? My goodness, your God is your savior in every aspect. कभी वो आपको मुक्ति का मार्ग दिखाता है तो कभी मुक्त कर देता है. देखो तुलसीदास जी जब जेल के अंदर थे तभी हनुमान चालीसा लिखे ना. क्या हुआ? हनुमान चालीसा लिखने से वो उनकी मुक्ति हो गई. जेल से तो निकल ही गए ना. तो जब आपको कोई ऐसे जेल में डाल रहा है, वहां पे क्या करना चाहिए? जाके राम का नाम लो, हर चीज में राम। और अगर उनको शिव पसंद नहीं है तो 2-4 बार शिव भी डाल देना अंदर। जस्ट लाइक द ड्राई फ्रूट्स इन द खीर, शिव शुड बी दैट। एंड देन यू सी व्हाट हैपेंस। वो खुद ही मर जाएंगे वहां पे बात करते, रे रे इसको मत बुला, रे क्या क्या शिव शिव बोलती रहती है, शुभ शुभ। Is it really so worrisome and problematic to deal with? No. Only thing is we think we have created it so big that we cannot deal it. हमने बड़ा कर दिया है उस चीज को। छोटे सा चीज है अदिति जी। If you want to kill yourself with talks, you can kill even not going there by just thinking क्या होगा वहां पे. And if you have awakened, you go there and your vibration should kill them. What are we talking about? अब भूत प्रेत है तो क्या करूं? अरे तुम्हारा वाइब्रेशन कम है तो वो तुम्हारे ऊपर बैठेंगे, तुम्हारा वाइब्रेशन ज्यादा है तुमको देख के भागेंगे। सेम टू सेम विथ पीपल।
Yes.
व्हाट्स योर फ्रीक्वेंसी?
Hmm.
वो कहते हैं ना, देयर इज अ सेइंग इन इंग्लिश ना अदिति जी, डोंट टेल योर गॉड हाउ बिग योर प्रॉब्लम्स आर, टेल योर प्रॉब्लम्स हाउ बिग योर गॉड इज। वही मैं बता रहा हूँ। ये मत बोलो कि वो क्या कर सकते हैं तुमको, तुम मुझे ये बताओ कि तुम क्या क्या कर सकते हो उनके ऊपर। डोंट डिस्काउंट योरसेल्फ। ओके?
मैं ये समझ रही हूँ महादेव कि मैं क्या क्या कर सकती हूँ। मैं
हाँ, तो वहां जाके बैठ के जाप करो ना,
हाँ।
मंत्र पढ़ते जाओ। वो कुछ भी बोले, तुम्हारा हाथ चलते रहना चाहिए, राम राम राम
हम्म।
राम 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 राम, शिव 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 शिव। कौन देख रहा है? वो कुछ भी बोले। आप नहीं देखे कि आप जब माला करते हो बाकी किसी का शब्द कुछ सुनाई नहीं देता आपको?
सच है।
राजन जी ने जैसे लिखा ना, टू रेस्क्यू समवन फ्रॉम द फॉरेस्ट यू हैव टू गो टू द फॉरेस्ट। माइट बी दोस पीपल नीड योर हेल्प, दैट्स व्हाई द गॉड इज सेंडिंग यू देयर। अगर राम वनवास नहीं गए होते तो इतना उद्धार कैसे होता?
सच है।
तो जाओ वन में, उद्धार करके आओ।
Sure.
And you are safe. Nobody will steal your Sita.
Okay, madam.
So don't live with that fear. Aditi. Go there. Keep along with the same chantings that you do. Keep it within yourself. You see what changes there. Might be through your presence, they might change. That place which has not seen light might become light in your presence. Why can't you go like that?
पर मैंने खुद को ऑब्जर्व किया जब महादेव, तो मुझे ऐसा ही क्यों लगता है कि टू गो एंड टू डील विद देम, इट इज बेटर टू अवॉइड देम एंड नॉट टू डील विद देम।
So I have given you both the ways. Whatever you choose is yours. We have given you both ways, right? So you decide. And how can somebody be more vibrationally more on me that I succumb to them?
Very few times it happens, Mahadev, sometimes.
There is a very typical saying that I say, but I won't say on this camera anyways. हम कोई घंटा या घड़ी नहीं है, समझे? कोई घंटा या घड़ी नहीं है कि कोई बजा के चला जाए। जो बजाएगा वो भी बजेगा। Okay, chalo. So Aditi,
Yes.
decide whether you want to go or not. We have given both excuses. You need further excuses, you can reach out to Usha ji. She has dumped her school many times. She has a lot more experience, lot more ideas, and lot many things.
थैंक यू
Right.
सो मच। हर हर
और
महादेव।
राजन जी, अदिति जी आपको थैंक यू बोल रहे हैं कि आपके क्वेश्चंस में बहुत सारे आंसर आए।
मेरे ये मुझे भी सिली क्वेश्चंस ही लग रहे थे, बट आई
नो
वांट
नो
टू
नो
मेक
नो,
इट क्लियर मैन।
नाउ आप तो वो दुखी राम मत बनो।
नहीं नहीं, आई एम नॉट वन।
You should not become that. Arey, no.
नो आई
Your
एम नॉट।
questions are questions. If your question was silly, I will tell that these are silly questions. Don't ask. Right? And what I said, it's not just my way to just give you answers, but it is also my path to correct your questions. If your question was wrong, I will correct that. Don't worry. Okay?
हर हर महादेव।
हर हर महादेव।
धन्यवाद महादेव, धन्यवाद नारायण।
हे भगवान। चिदविलास अभी धीरे से नीचे मैसेज मारे, कैन यू टेल अस द मंत्र विच विल टेक कीप द स्नेक अवे। तो जाओगे क्यों पहले सांप के पास, बताओ। नाउ द सेम स्टोरी, somebody knocked on my window and then suddenly I realized I'm in the 7th floor। अरे भाई 7 फ्लोर तक स्नेक पहुंच पाएगा क्या पहले। चलो ठीक है, तुम अगली बार मिलो, मैं तुमको बता दूंगा मंत्र, ठीक है। एक ही वर्ड है, उसको बार बार बोलने से वो हो जाता है, दैट इट विल टेक केयर ऑफ इट। ओके। क्या पता फिर मेरे को भी भेज दे, बोले हमारे घर में सांप है, 2 मंत्र बोलो लेके जाओ। नहीं सुनील जी, बिल्कुल भरोसा कर सकते हैं, लोग ऐसा भी कर सकते हैं।
प्रणाम गुरु जी।
प्रणाम।
जी मैं लास्ट टाइम आपसे कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछा था कि प्राण शक्ति के बारे में, चक्रा क्लेंजिंग, और तो वो और नवनाथ के बारे में। आई थिंक वो कभी तो भी आप
यस
देंगे बोले।
यस, वी विल टेक द सेशन ऑन इट।
सर आज का मैं ये इनके बारे में पढ़ता रहता हूँ, बट आई डोंट, ऐसा ऐसा आता है कि उनका कोई स्टार्टिंग नहीं है, एंड नहीं है। मैं बीच में किधर तो भी पढ़ता रहता हूँ बस।
ओके।
तो एक है विक्रमादित्य। मुझे पता नहीं वो कौन थे, कहाँ से आए, बट उनका नाम बहुत पता है। और एक दूसरे है हरिश्चंद्र जी, राजा राजा हरिश्चंद्र, जिन्होंने अपना किंगडम ले
सब
लिया।
कुछ, यस यस।
हाँ, तो ये इनके बारे में आप बता सकते हैं। और एक चीज है, विक्रमादित्य का बोलते हैं कि उनका आसन
The
मिला था।
Singhasan that is there.
And nobody could sit on it because it would not allow them anybody to sit. I mean, yeah, I mean, सोच मतलब वो जो रीजन है वो मालूम पड़ता है, बट how can the power be through the centuries or millennia can still stay to that object form?
Consecration.
Consecration.
कभी कभी लोग बोलते हैं कि ये चेयर के ऊपर भी, ये भी 32 सिंहासन जैसा, इसके बैठने से अच्छा अच्छा ज्ञान की बातें निकलती है।
जी।
सो विक्रमादित्य कहाँ से आए अगर आप मुझे पूछोगे सुनील जी, तो ये हमारे बचपन की स्टोरी बुक चंदा मामा के 32 नंबर पेज से आए, तो हमेशा वहीं आते थे। बट नॉट दैट थिंग। विक्रमादित्य was a great king in the earlier ages, and his stories are so amazing because especially that seat that he was sitting on. That would be, again, like the entire story, to bring it down, would be so fascinating because Vikramaditya and Vetal are like a most fascinating stories that you will ever hear. बेताल 25 ही उसी को कहते हैं ना। Even today, if you ask me to go back and watch any of the teleseries that was available in the 80s, I would jump back and love to look back again to Batti Singhasan. Because, like every step, the person was climbing and he was asking the questions and he was answering through stories. So there are 32 stories. That is, Batti Singhasan has 32 stories. Betal Pachisi is of Vikramaditya. The same, one story with the ghost, he told 25 stories, and one with the 32 steps. towards his Singhasan.
Mhm.
So beautiful. It would become a series of stories actually. किसी को चंदा मामा पसंद है तो we can start a new series of it.
जी जरूर
Absolutely amazing stories, because that will absolutely pull you back to your childhood. कर सकते हैं उसके ऊपर. The first story of the Betal Pachisi, right? You know, I was so fond of it that I believe I have a book. One fine day, I went with Imon to the bookstore and I bought a book of that. It was in all cartoon characters. I think like the book is still there. I'll pull out that book and from that I will read the stories. I think that would be another amazing way of learning it.
Yeah, that's always the thing.
But the thing is, it's not what is written. The esoteric meaning that is hidden behind that, if it comes out. You see, the first story of Betal Pachisi goes this way, like there was a king, and that king, there is no one then, but this king itself. So, Vikramaditya. उसे कहते थे महाबली विक्रमादित्य, राइट? महावीर महाबली इस नाम से पुकारा जाता था उनको, because he was fearless. So when he was, the first story goes, there is a king and every day in his court, people will come to meet him with some or other gifts with their hands, because they want to, the king was a good king, so they want to give a thanks to the king through their gifting ways. So every day people would gather and they would come and give something or other and go. One fine day, a yogi appeared. And that yogi brought with him a very strange looking fruit. A fruit that no one has seen in the palace. He gives that fruit to the king and goes away. The king looked at it, he says, what is this? We don't even know. And the other, he just passed it on to the minister and he says, take it away. And this continued every single day. Every single day that yogi would come and give the fruit and go away. And the Raja, the king, every single day he would pass it on to the minister and keep it. But minister was an intelligent fellow. He knew that the king's mind might change someday and ask me what happened to the fruits. So what he used to do it, he had dug a big hole somewhere and every day he would used to dump all the fruits there only. Because one fine day if the king asks, then what? I will tell, no, everything is there, it is there. It such happened, Sunilji, that one fine day the yogi appears into the palace with that fruit again. And on that day, somebody has gifted the king a monkey. And the monkey has been tamed by the king and it was sitting by the side of the king. When this yogi gave the fruit to the hands of the king, the monkey was grasping it. So the king, instead of giving it to the minister, this day gave it to the monkey. And the fruit was big enough, the monkey could not hold it and it fell. And when it fell on the ground, it bursted. And when it bursted, the king saw a huge diamond inside it. A huge diamond. Now everybody was stunned. How come a diamond like this, which we have never seen, came out of this fruit? And now everybody is shocked, thinking, oh my God, what happened to all those fruit that he has been giving every day? That means every fruit must be containing that diamond. Now the king says to the minister, what happened to the fruits? The minister says, I have dumped there. Go check it. And what they found is every fruit had a big round diamond in it. They could never realize it. Now, do you think the yogi will be coming to the king or the king will be going to the yogi?
The king will go to the yogi.
This is one way of understanding it. The other way of understanding it is every moment the yogi, the divine, is giving you a fruit in the moment of the present.
Mhm.
and we are just passing it on without utilizing it in the right way. If we understand the value of this moment, every moment is as precious and more than any costliest thing available on this planet. Is it okay for anyone? I would say, I am giving you a diamond, but you die. Would they choose that? Because if I am no more there, what will happen to the diamond? So that is how it is. With every passing moment, it's just like you are the king. The fruit is being presented to you. But the beauty of it, Sunilji, at times the monkey mind opens the truth. At times you are sitting happily, it asks you, everything is going on good. There must be something fishy in it. जीवन में सब मस्त चल रहा है, अचानक अरे नहीं ये सब चल रहा है लेकिन ये सब चला जाएगा. What is the reality behind it? What is inside? What is the core of it? And what it is saying? The core of it has the precious of the thing. The core is you. Your core has the most precious thing within it. Are you realizing that? So this is the first initial story. And after that, the yogi comes and he says, the moment the yogi comes this time around, the king is going to him and says, oh, today also fruit. He says, no fruit today. You know what does that mean? That means very simply, the day you have realized who you are, the potential of you, the truth about yourself, then the divine appears. He would say, no more need of that because you are now free of it. You are already free of it. What do you call that? That itself is moksha. So this is the first story of it. Every story, Sunilji, is as fascinating and more than this. So that's what I said. No, if a kid listens to it, it will get enjoyment, entertainment out of it. If a person of our age reads it, he says, wow, beautifully written. But if a person who has awoke read it, it becomes a story of awakening for everyone. So that's the beauty of it. So I don't know. I might start a series on that. अब सोचो सुनील जी 9 के लिए 1.5 महीना चला तो ये 32 सिंहासन और वो 25 कहानियां.
We should have like अभी तो आप बोल रहे थे ना next 4 महीना we are going to do something. We should have it like every day or every second day. So 4 महीना we should use. We should use. No, I'm just.
He gives a small little. He's just like that. ये छोटा सा बस रखो इसको, वो बड़ा पेड़ बन जाता है.
आप पानी देंगे तो बड़ा बन जाएगा सर. आप उसको ये कर.
But don't worry, Sunil. I actually love these stories. So I am fascinated about these stories. So surely, let me seek the book now. What stories are there? Because the moment I read the stories, automatically the esoteric meanings will appear in front of it. We don't have to worry on that. But the only thing is, let me see what the stories are. But I have read all. The only thing is I don't remember them. And I actually don't remember any stories, Sunilji, but the stories appear whenever it is needed.
That is true. That is also true. Yeah.
That's why for every situation I have a story to tell. And more than that, I am stunned because every story fits to the occasion. Okay. So Sunilji, you have already given me many tasks now about the Siddha Parampara. Now you have given me 25 stories and 32 singhas, 32 singhas. I don't know when, like he has given me a year full of quota now.
Sir, added to the question, I think Harishchandra was in lineage of like before Ram, right? So Vikramaditya was in that lineage, or it was somewhere else?
No, no, no. It is a slightly different lineage from that, not that.
Not that lineage. Okay.
Because
Yeah.
these are two different kalpas altogether. Means two different yugas altogether.
Okay. So I'm like, I don't know, when was Vikramaditya happen? It was after Ram and Krishna?
Yeah,
When
after them. Because
Ah.
see, why I say it is two different kalpa is the same Vikramaditya is also mentioned in Betal Pachisi. That's 25 stories with the ghost.
Yeah,
And the same Vikramaditya is also mentioned in the 32 stories.
yeah.
So these are stories from two different kalpas. Means two different times altogether.
Mhm.
Yet they are mentioned as one being only.
One being.
Okay, we know no, like now Ram ye kalp mein jitne baar aa chuke 23 times already.
Mhm.
So now every time the story is a little different, but the characters remain the same. So similarly, what I'm saying is these stories differed, but the characters remain same.
Sure.
So let's see whichever book I find, will start with that, and small little
Sure.
kids like all of you will enjoy that stories.
Definitely. Thank you.
But it's a great learning out of it. Every story has something in it. Okay. So thank you, Sunil. He is saying one more question.
Yeah. This is different question. I wanted to ask, we do Nadi Shodham, right?
Nadi Shodhana.
Yeah, Nadi Shodhana. So, why do we do it? When should we do it?
Okay.
And so, and like, can you do it anytime, like when you are feeling down or something? Like down, like sometimes we
Okay.
feel down and we
Okay. I
can't
get
think.
that.
So
Get that. Okay. So really,
so
like, see, when we are talking about Nadi Shodhanam, right? So it is about like Shodhana ka matlab kya hai? Cleansing of the nadis. Right. If you look at the nadis, what are nadis? Nadis are nothing else but something. They are so it's so subtle through which the life force is spread across the body. Just like the blood vessels, and the veins carry the bloods. So nadis are quite invisible things that we speak of. They are invisible and etheric in nature. So the life force that cannot be seen is actually passing through it. So if there is a knot, if there is a stoppage to that, what happens? The life force is not able to flow in the pure form in you. So what you should do is Nadi Shodhan karne se that kind of purification, cleansing happens, through that the life force flows through you pretty clear, pretty easily. Okay. The second thing is when you should do it, it is absolutely prescribed when you wake up. And the third thing is when you ask like, shall I do it when I'm feeling low? No, if you are doing it regularly, you won't feel low. That itself will take care of certain things. Okay.
And how long should we do it? Like
How?
couple of minutes? How long?
It depends on which path you are following. It means what kind of prescription you are following that. नाड़ी शोधन के सिर्फ और सिर्फ प्राणायाम का शोधन हो सकता है. Then there are other ways of, you might have seen the yogis. There are अब अष्टांग योग के बारे में ही बोलना पड़ा. The entire process of Ashtanga Yoga would come into it. How to cleanse your throat, how to cleanse your belly, how to cleanse your eyes, how to cleanse your ears, how to cleanse your nose. So everything is a step-by-step process. And then after the physical cleansing, they go into the ethereal parts. बहुत लंबा है सुनील जी. So अभी तो immediately तो बोलना मुश्किल हो जाएगा. If you speak about Ashtanga Yoga, it itself will go into, I don't know, at least 4-5 months. But good. You are coming up with this question, that means might be these are the things that have to come. Why not? I don't deny that. The only thing is there's so many things on our plate now. So let's clear it off as soon as possible. जैसे जैसे होता है वैसे वैसे करते जाएंगे. But now everybody is happy, you know what? They say, "Nah, good players are playing on the ground. Let us enjoy the show." And Sunil ji has been a great addition. वो तो helicopter shots मार रहे हैं बस out of the boundary. But whatever way it is really good. Like, see, your questions will bring new things out. Might be the things that look so simple can have so profound effect on all of us. And I truly believe, just like the stories appear, the questions also appear in the right time. So thank you everyone for your time, and especially the people in India burning your late night oils already. It's nearing 11. So thank you for being here. See you all soon on Sunday. Till then, Aham Brahmasmi Tattvamasi Har Har Mahadev. विष्णु जी निद्रा में जा रहे हैं, शिव जी जाग रहे हैं. कहानियां बदलेंगी अब से. ओके, चलो देखो. हरि भाई सायन एकादशी में है या? हरि भाई, सब मुझे लगता है हरि भाई सायन एकादशी में चले गए हैं. अब क्या करें, पक्का. So I request all of you to please log out on your own one by one. Okay, because नहीं अभी हरि भाई आएंगे. कहाँ गए? Okay, so you can please move out. अगर गाना सुनने का इतना शौक है तो बोल दो, किसी को बोल दे कोई गाना गा लेगा. Very Saroja Garu, she also slept or what? Or else we should have asked her, like, she can sing so that the tradition continues, right, Chidvilas? So let's continue the tradition. 1 line, 2 line, it's okay. If you don't sing Chidvilas, then I will call upon Siddharth.
See, my mom's shouting to sing now.
We are not able to hear that. We are lost in your voice.
I'm able to hear from the door.
That's okay.
Yes, Guru.
The same one. The Haridwar.
Oh,
Sundaratara Pinaka. That one.
oh. चंद्रचूड शिव शंकर पार्वती रमण निनगे नमो नमो. ओ चंद्रचूड शिव शंकर पार्वती रमण निनगे नमो नमो. सुंदरतर पिनाक धरहर गंगाधर बरदर गंगाधर बरदर गंगाधर गजाचर्मा बरदर. चंद्रचूड शिव शंकर पार्वती रमण निनगे नमो नमो. दरिगे दक्षिण कावेरी कुंभपुरवासनु नीने करदली वीणय गानव ಮಾಡುವ ಉರಗಭೂಷಣು ನೀವೇ. ಕೊರಳಲಿ ಬಸಿಮ ರುದ್ರಾಕ್ಷವು ಧರಿಸಿನ ಪರಮ ವೈಷ್ಣವನು ನೀನೇ. ಗರುಡ ಗಮನ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನ ಗರುಡ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನ ಪ್ರಾಣ ಪ್ರಿಯವು ನೀವೇ ಚಂದ್ರಚೂಡ ಶಿವಶಂಕರ ಪಾರ್ವತಿ ರಮಣ ನಿನಗೆ ನಾ